What does it mean to live more with less? I'm Katie Wells, and welcome to the Maximized Minimalist podcast. If you found yourself caught up in the hamster wheel of modern-day motherhood and want to rewrite the script, congratulations, you're in the right place. I'm here to be your guide and help you take back your motherhood and achieve a simpler, more joy-filled life. Cheers to being a maximized minimalist. Enjoy the show.
We've all seen those clothing hauls on social media, right? Endless boxings and try-ons that just at the end of the day encourage us to buy more, whether we need it or not. But here's the reality. These hauls are contributing to a cycle of hyperconsumption that goes far beyond our closets. Consider this. 3 out of 5 garments end up in a landfill within a year. I don't know about you, but my little environmentalist heart breaks every single time I read that stat. The fashion industry is responsible for up to 10% of global carbon emissions, more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. And just to make one cotton t-shirt, by the way, it takes about 700 gallons of water, which is enough for one person to drink for nearly 3 years. So if you're on social media at all, whether it's for if you have a business or as a consumer just for enjoyment, right? It's pretty much impossible to not stumble upon a haul video. So one time as an experiment, I counted the number of new items this particular influence I followed at the time that she promoted in her unboxing videos over the course of just 1 week. Okay. 1 week, she probably did 4 or 5 hauls. Y'all, I was astonished. It was over 120 pieces of clothing. 120 pieces in just 1 week that she quote unquote unboxed, right? And the irony is she does all of her try-ons standing in this beautiful walk-in closet that is super simplified and minimalist looking, right? There's space between the hangers. Everything's neatly arranged, color-coded, all the things. It seemed like she didn't own much at all when, she's doing her try-ons there. And she even preached shopping intentionally. I don't know, speaking out of 2 sides of her mouth here, right? Social media is often this curated illusion, and I just can't help but be frustrated by it and also have to laugh at it sometimes. This influencer may have been pushing hundreds of new wardrobes into her item, but you didn't see the clutter she's hiding out of frame just to maintain the minimalist vibe, right? It's a perfect example of how we don't see the full picture on social media. And I think too, from a psychological perspective, we're drawn into buying more, perhaps from these types of influencers, because we're not seeing the mess, both literal and figurative here, right? That consumption creates. We are constantly encouraged to keep up with the trends, buy more clothes. But the truth is, these habits are harming the planet, cluttering our homes, and leaving us feeling so unsatisfied. Okay, but here's the good news. I promise it's coming. It's not all doomsday. You can break the cycle. Instead of constantly buying new clothes, it's time to take a step back, declutter, start shopping your own dang wardrobe. Not only is this going to save you money, but it'll help you rediscover the clothes you already love while also doing your part to reduce the waste, right? So many people get hung up on the environmental side of things when it comes to donating, but have you ever considered the waste that happens when you buy stuff, right? Step 1, declutter the excess. All right. This wouldn't be an episode if we didn't talk at least for a second about letting go, purging, auditing your possessions. Many of us have closets. Man, this was a doozy for me. I had so many clothes back in the day, and it was overwhelming. So if you have closets filled with clothes like I did that you have forgotten about, and here's the thing, you don't even need to have quote unquote a lot of clothes to forget about clothes that you own. Sometimes they're just tucked under a few t-shirts or even, pushed back a little in your closet. And then if we don't see them, we're not creating the opportunity to wear them. And then again, keeping us stuck in the cycle of to get that feeling of something new and fresh and exciting. Instead of shopping outside your closet, we need to shift in. So decluttering is really the first piece to that puzzle. When we have too much, it makes it harder to appreciate the clothes we wear that make us feel good, that make us feel beautiful, confident, all the things. So go through in a way that makes sense for your lifestyle, whether that's category by category, or even simpler. One of my favorite quote unquote hacks is to just choose one thing each day to add to your donation bin while you're getting dressed. It's so simple. Make it a goal. Every time you get dressed in the morning, you select, I don't care if it's a pair of underwear or an old tank top or a bra that doesn't fit, add something to it. It won't take long for those results to really, really start to add up. And here's the thing, no overwhelm involved. Okay. We don't do overwhelm. This is a simple way to do it. So by decluttering, you're making space for what matters and ensuring the items you actually enjoy aren't buried. And don't worry, if you're hesitant about getting rid of certain items, this hack has been around for a long time, the hanger trick, right? Hang all your clothes with the hangers facing one direction, and after you wear it, turn the hanger the other way. Give yourself a few months, you'll have a much clearer and objective idea of what you're actually wearing and what can go. So step 2 is probably one of my favorites. I think this is where a lot of the fun begins from a shop your closet perspective, is to reorganize and rediscover. Organize your clothes by type, right? Tops, pants, dresses, rejudge everything, make it feel good for you. And along the way, you're going to rediscover pieces you've forgotten about or haven't worn in a long time. It feels like shopping your own closet because you're finding items that feel fresh. Perhaps, no judgment here. Maybe you're finding some stuff with the tags on it that you were so excited to buy one day, but you haven't worn. You're like, oh, okay, now's my opportunity. So you're shopping and getting that excitement, that dopamine without spending a dime. And here's, particular part in the steps that you could create a wish list for any gaps in your wardrobe. But if I'm honest, this can be a really slippery slope because the focus is still on purchasing and consuming in order to achieve a feeling. When I began decluttering, I used that as my enablement to buy more stuff. Well, I'm decluttering and I'm curating a capsule wardrobe, or I'm curating a more simplified wardrobe. And in order to do that, I need to buy a white base, a gray tank, a black base, like all the little layers and things you see on Pinterest or whatever. And it was just enabling me, right, to keep shopping, even if perhaps it was slightly more intentional. So I'm just a side note, I'm throwing that out there. If we can all just do a quick gut check, if you're like, yeah, that's me too, skip over that for now and just focus on what you have. All right. Because I promise you can make probably hundreds of outfits with the clothing you already own. And that's really where we go into step 3, right? Planning your outfits. This has been a game changer for me. I only started, believe it or not, doing it in the last 6 months or so. So does anyone else here meal plan? I have to meal plan, or it creates so much mental clutter for me if we don't meal plan. Not necessarily meal prep, like prepping vegetables, cutting things up. I do that if I can, but I always plan ahead. Monday night, just at least the main meals for dinners for our family. And so just like planning your meals for the week helps simplify your day-to-day life and reduce mental clutter, I started doing the same thing with my clothes. And what I've started doing is dedicating a small portion of my closet, just a small portion of a rod, and I hang my outfits for the week. And again, by planning ahead, I make sure I'm rotating through the clothes I love. I'm giving myself the opportunity to wear all these things that I'm buying. And it's helping me not fall into the rut of wearing the same few outfits over and over. I feel like even if you have a quote unquote simplified closet, it's still easy to do that because we all have our favorites, right? And you're getting that little dopamine hit, making your wardrobe feel new and exciting. And it really does feel like more like a shopping experience. It's like a curated small selection every week. I'm not like, here's Monday, here's Tuesday, here's Wednesday. I don't do that. I just pick out 5 outfits, right? That's it. And then I just, depending on what I want to wear, I pick it for the day. Super simple. And my clients I've shared this with who've done it absolutely love it too. So take it and run with it. And I promise you it can really, really help. I think one of the best parts of shopping your own closet is, again, that like how fresh it can feel and the weekly rediscovery of these pieces that creates new outfits. Even if you're not adding anything new, you can mix and match, perhaps get a different perspective on different ways you can wear things, which also gives you excitement, the same excitement of something new without the clutter and without spending money. And I think we all need to remember we don't need to spend money to enjoy what's already in our wardrobe. Like the goalpost doesn't need to keep moving every time we buy something. Like we buy it, we're like, okay, this is the last pair of shoes. And then we see another pair and we're like, okay, one more pair. The goalpost keeps moving. So we need to keep the goalpost stuck and we need to find more contentment and joy with the things you already have. And here's the thing. A lot of us go, well, I don't love a lot of things in my closet. Is that the end goal? Is the end goal to love everything in your closet? I think not. That was another slippery slope I found myself running into because that's what I was being sold. I kind of went from one extreme, cluttered, overwhelmed chaos to like, oh, the goal is to have a curated wardrobe. I don't know why I'm talking like this, that I love. But like, a lot of things in my closet I don't love, but I still wear them because they're functional, whatever. It's a pair of leggings. I don't need to love a pair of leggings I work out in. Again, it's like the nuance of language can keep us stuck on this hamster wheel. We need to hop off the hamster wheel because we tired. Okay, we tired. So I also want to share a couple of strategies to keep you more mindful and avoid some of those impulse purchases we're all tempted with, okay? I'm not excluded from that. Here's some questions you can ask before buying something. Because after you've gone through these steps, you're probably less likely to want to buy stuff new, but here's what you do in case. Ask yourself this question. If nobody saw me wearing this ever, would I still be interested? That's such a good one. If nobody ever saw me wearing these cute leggings, would I still be interested? These cute pair of shoes, would I still be interested? And here's the thing, the reality is, because of how our brains are wired, part of dressing is about buying that feeling we want. Is it acceptance? Is it to be loved? Is it to feel pretty, to be noticed, to fit in, to hide? I used to dress to hide a lot. I still kind of do in a way. I don't like to be seen. It was kind of funny because I have a podcast, right? But I mean, it runs deep, right? What are you trying to buy by buying something? And I think this question can be really fruitful because if nobody saw you wearing something and you're still interested in it, it helps you dress more for yourself. And I think that is when we really start to tap into our quote unquote authentic self or our own authentic style. And we stop feeling like clones of the influencers we're following, which again, is not knocking them. I certainly am inspired all the time by the small handful of fashion people that I follow. And I do like a lot of their fashion and I do buy some of it. But if one of your goals is to tap into your style and be authentic, then you want to make sure you're dressing for you, not for others. Again, if you work a 9 to 5 and you have to dress a certain way for that, I get it. But outside of that, ask that question. It can help. If it weren't on sale, would I still be interested? Oh, so good. So good. Am I buying it just because it's quote unquote a good deal? Yeah. Do I already have something similar to this? It is so easy to buy variations of the same thing. I guarantee if you go through this process in this episode, step 1, declutter, you'll notice like, oh, I have 18 black sweater cardigans. Why do I have 18? I reach for the same one every time. And then also during that process, we're going to scoot back a little bit in the process. If you find yourself having a lot of variations of things, it can also be really helpful from a reducing in your influx of clutter and reducing your consumption to ask yourself, why am I reaching for this one black cardigan when I have 17 others I can wear? What is special about this one that keeps me coming back to it? It doesn't have to be a big thing. It's not like, it doesn't have to be sentimental. Maybe it is. Maybe it reminds you of a special memory. If that's the case, use that, right? Use that to help you go, well, this is my one I wear. I can feel comfortable letting go. Let's just say 14 of the other ones. I'll keep a few spares and edit over time. But it can also help you tap into, again, reducing your consumption patterns. All right. If you know what items live in your closet, you can check yourself during this process when you're tempted to buy that black cardigan this influencer's trying to sell you, right? Perhaps you wear it instead of the 17 others because it's cozier. For me, especially when I was overwhelmed as a new mom, it was like, it needs to be simple to clean. I'm not doing dry cleaning. And I still don't. So if your other ones are dry clean only, sell them, donate them, and know that you're not in a season, nor do you have the desire to spend the time and energy to go dry clean things. You'd have to chalk it up to your season of life. All right. Otherwise, you're going to keep making the same consumption. You can call it a mistake. You can call it a repeat. Call it what you will. But we don't want to end up continuing to be back in the same place where we are now. That's the idea behind this. How often am I going to wear this? Be realistic. Is it something versatile enough for regular use? Is it a fleeting trend that, going back to that stat I started with, 3 out of 5 garments end up in a landfill within a year. We all like to, be like, well, not me, not mine. Nope. But let's be honest, right? Be honest about whether this new item is going to enhance your wardrobe or it's filling a temporary desire. And here's the thing too, sometimes we don't know till we get it. I've bought intentional purchases that for whatever reason just didn't work out. But again, speaking to the reducing consumption, this is what we're talking about here. You're going to help the environment, your home, your bank account in so many ways. And then of course, I can't get by without using the 48-hour rule. This is a method I personally use. I've used it for a long time. Whenever I feel the urge to buy something, whether it's like that impulse, like, ooh, those shoes are cute, need them, want them, love them, right? Or if it's like something, even if I've been thinking about it for a while, more intentional, I add it to my note tab on my phone, and then I wait at least 48 hours before buying it. When I come back to it, I often realize, this always blows my mind. Most of the time I forgot completely what it is. I'm like, what are these? What are these shoes? And then I would even say 50% of the time I'll click on the link and go to the thing. I'm like, I don't really like them that much. But I got stuck in the idea of like, oh, I got to buy these now. Oh, these are on sale. Oh, right. And all of a sudden that item becomes a lot more attractive to us. Give yourself time, the precious time, the pause, right? The pause between the purchase. And I'm telling you what, sometimes you'll laugh at the things that end up on this list. And a lot of times it gives you just enough time to, come back to your senses. And sometimes, maybe 5% of the time you go, no, I really want that. Get it. Great. Good for you. We all do it. Okay. And it's just a really helpful way I've found to separate the wants from the needs. A lot of us get confused by that. We think we need it all. Listen to any fashion influencer who's selling you something or talking about a product. It's always buttery soft. Oh, we always need it. It is the item of the season. I mean, they are hitting hard with these marketing messages. So again, want versus need. Perhaps we need to do a future episode on that. And by asking yourself, the questions we talked about, giving yourself time to reflect before making a purchase by using something like 48-hour rule, you can help break that cycle of overconsumption. Focus on quality pieces you love, wear often, make you feel beautiful, confident, and really just, I think, tap into that joy that getting dressed can really create. I think a lot of us forget that too. It's an option and it's available if you want it. If you were in a season where you're like, I'm just dressing to get by, I get it. I've been there too. So if that's you, fine. Make sure, at least part of your closet is a reflection of that. And so for more tips like this delivered to your inbox, I get it. Y'all are busy. You're walking the dog. You're going to the grocery store. You're in car line right now. Sometimes it's hard to soak up all the info from a podcast. If you're anything like me, I can regurgitate maybe 5% of what I hear from an episode. So for tips to get delivered to your inbox where you can save them, go back to them later, and remember them more, make sure to join my Ready, Set, Simplify newsletter. And on that note, you know what to do. Go tackle that closet. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.